what Wakili is saying. We have very minimal sensitization about the constitution. You know, even today in the village, an assistant chief, a chief will choose who to write a letter for, or where to favor in an agreement over land. We have small sensitization about the constitution that can help people make decisions. Just as you say, it's not all for politicians. Even as low as assistant chiefs in the village, if you haven't given him something, which tells us even this constitution never sorted out corruption. It still instills some powers on some leaders whereby they can never make a decision. Coming back to the uneven distribution of power, I want to echo the words of Kamenya that devolution helped, but not really. We have few money that goes to the counties, less than 30%. Who controls the 70%? Roads haven't been devolved. Are roads evenly constructed in the country? No. Hospitals, everything, even implementations, people do things because they want to benefit politically. Even employment, today someone becomes a president, for example, Hans, then I want to employ my friend from Nyanza, who is a friend, not because he's competent enough for the work. So this constitution never gave a proper way that somebody who is competent for employment qualifies. It gives somebody who probably present things that is regionally balancing leadership, but appoints a friend who serves him, not the Kenyans. So that is what I want to question those who made this constitution, that what did you think you should do so that if Hans becomes the president, I do not probably employ my friend Kamenya because I feel he comes from central Kenya and I'll have done a balance. But Kamenya serves me. He doesn't serve his country. Something else, this constitution gave power to the executive. So all resources are controlling the executive. That's why you realize today the parliament is being controlled. It doesn't matter who becomes the president. Parliament will still be controlled because powers were taken from the parliament. You remember in the previous constitution, we used to have a member of parliament will become a minister, assistant minister. At times they could, and even though they could have maybe some independence, but nowadays members of parliament have been controlled by the executive because there are more resources in the executive more than in the parliament. So parliaments only depend on salaries. So if you see, they might bend so that at least they might be given some money. What also Constitution didn't observe is the issues of buying force, handouts. The Constitution didn't tell us what do you do with a mwananchi so that it doesn't come with expectation of being given something so that he can fight. He can vote you in, sorry. And the Constitution didn't tell us how do you manage a politician so that he doesn't use money to purchase for votes. So that we can lead us who are right. We don't get we don't get the best bidder. You know, today we have the best bidders in parliament. We have few leaders in parliament. So Constitution didn't tell us how do we make sure that a youth who don't have resources can win. As somebody who has a disability but has the right leadership can win. A woman who has the right leadership can win. Probably maybe they do not have resources based on the history of Africa. And that's why today this idea of affirmative action was tried, the one we were coming up with women-led leaders and so on. But it will still give a chance to a woman who has more resources to purchase the vote in the ground. But the woman who could be having right leadership but broke in the account might not get elected. Something else is that the Constitution hasn't given us, so now we can solve the regional blocks, the tribal regional blocks. I would have wished the Constitution gave boundaries that do not favor regions of tribes. So that people who are elected do not necessarily have to come from one tribe. So that if you now go to where I come from, which is Rift Valley, it is largely the Kalenjin. So it means if I seem to have a say in the Kalenjin region, I control who becomes a member of parliament, the MCA, the senator, and so on. So it will give us regional blocks all along. So if this block combined with this block, they form a president, and therefore they appoint their people to leadership and they distribute resources to their regions.
But Hans, doesn't that rely, or a political party the powerful you are, the most people you get, the most
So
votes you
it
get.
is not